Well, good morning, guys, and welcome to the show, Fernando.
Welcome to the show.
Do you like the way we start these?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing it. I feel like it's just kind of second nature now.
What do you want to say?
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right, stop.
please.
Today we have a Toyota,
Tundra.
thank you, that we're going to be putting in, I guess you'd call it what, like the everyday system? The average system, the normal system,
The daily system.
the daily system. And well, we thought we'd take you on this journey as we walk you through it, the install that is. So let's get started, shall we? I ever mentioned how much I absolutely hate dog hair? Makes me sneeze, makes my eyes water. Before we start on the car, it should look like this. Not like that. It's working overtime today.
So the next car comes like this. It's gonna be an extra charge of $300. Come on, guys. Seriously.
So this is a 2012 Tundra, which is about, you know, the year. These are still on the road. This is still an awesome truck. There's still a lot of these around. And well, you know, it's time to finally upgrade it and make it sound better, and also give it the much needed improvement in the dash. I mean, CD player, what are those? And no screen. There is a backup camera in the mirror, I believe. Either way, it's very nothing. I mean, the car has Bluetooth, which for a lot of time that was the coolest thing in the world, but we've moved past that now, haven't we all? We can agree on that. And well, it's time to get with the now. And so the now is something with wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay and USB-C and being able to get your maps and all that other fun stuff into the radio, which we're gonna do today. And we're gonna be doing that with a Kenwood DMX 908S. We're gonna be putting some of the Exelon 6902Cs in, along with the X74s for the rear. We're gonna be powering some of this, we'll get to that, with the XR401.4. We're gonna be using the Rockford P301 8-inch. This thing's pretty cool. It's ported. It's got 300 watts. We'll explain why we chose that, along with a bunch of parts and bobbles and things and yeah, a bunch of stuff like that to bring this car into, well, just to rocket it into the future as far as the technologies that's in here right now. We're gonna retain all the steering wheel control functions and stuff like that, the push-to-talk that's on there via iData. The key is, where do we get started, right? Shouldn't that be the point of this?
Cleaning the car.
We did have to clean the car because it was less than desirable, and it makes me sneeze, and I didn't want to sneeze. So last night we got the car in, and we spent a bunch of time vacuuming it out so that today it would be calmed down. All the dust that's in the car would be not there, so I could come in and not have to take 6 Zyrtecs. But aside from that, this has no other stereo equipment in it. It's a virgin car, which is great. So we get to run through our normal battery of things we like to do, and that is get the radio out of the dash, get the hood up, figure out what side of the car the power wire needs to go down, and just basically come up with an idea of where stuff is going to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's head into the car and get the radio out. To start this whole process, that involves removing this cup holder here, which if you start on the passenger side, put your fingers in and just kind of pull up, the whole thing will come out. There is a plastic Phillips head, really annoying screw located right here. Gotta go slow, don't use a drill because it'll just spin. We like to use these rubber totes like this to put all our screws and bobbles in. Remove the gear shifter unlock cover. Shift it back. Just lift forward. One clip that needs to be done. and just kind of turn it sideways and it'll come right out. The next step is a combination of the cigarette lighter slash air conditioner. To do that, just kind of pull up on the dash side of things, and then in the hole that you've created, Just kind of pull. The cigarette lighter should pop off first. These are going to be annoying, but should easily come out. And then put your hand underneath the dash where these knockouts are. Just kind of wiggle a little bit, left and right. Just a couple clips and that's it. The whole thing should turn and come out. There's a bunch of plugs on this, but most of them actually don't go to anything. And then in this case, one of the clips got stuck in the radio. These little yellow guys here. Anytime a clip comes out, I like to pull it out and put it back where it goes, as opposed to doing it later, because Fernando might be the one putting this back in, and he's not gonna know that the clip fell out. To get the radio out, there's 4 10mm located on the bottom. 2 of them are here in the front, and then 2 are located deep in the back. Grab it from the bottom corner and just kind of, it's one of those things you kind of got to push at the top as you're pulling it out. There's 3 clips across the top. You just don't want to lean up into the dash too much. It comes out of the dash pretty far, and that's it. The radio's out of the dash. Now, if you're doing one of these that has a premium audio, there might be a speaker located up in here that you can remove. It's a great place to put the GPS antenna. It's also a good place when you're putting the radio in, if you're doing like a double DIN that is a long chassis. This wiring is on the top of the dash here, and that's why it has this tubing over it. Sometimes, to save space, we'll actually pull the tubing off and wrap each one of these up individually. But what's nice is you can put your hand in here and hold the wiring and pull it back as you're putting in the deeper radios, because there is room back here, but it's kind of hard and tucked up and funny to get to. Now, if we take a look at this big cavity here that we've created, this is gigantic. This is as deep as the cup holder, so you have a good 2 inches underneath here. You have all this area up in here. This is great if you have to do passive crossovers or something like that. They can all fit up inside of here. We've done a ton of them where we've put multiple passives in here. Sometimes if you're doing small brick amplifiers, you can tuck those up in here. The amplifier we're doing, we could probably fit in this area. I don't think I'm going to, let's just say that. I don't know, we'll see, but there is a lot of room up in here to put things, which is kind of nice. So join me over on the bench and we'll take a look at the kit, the radio that we're putting in, the harnesses that we need, and all that other fun stuff. When you go to replace the radio in this Toyota Tundra, they ran this body style for a while, and the big difference between the older ones and the newer ones was the color of the dash. There's 2 colors. There's this color here, which even though it looks very black, is gray. And then there's the first color they had, which is the dark black, like a piano black finish. So make sure when getting the kit, you get the kit that corresponds to the color that you're using. So the gray is clearly not black. The black matches this screen here. The kit we're using is the TOYK 967MG. G stands for gray. Inside of this kit is a bunch of bubble wrap, and the reason why there's a bunch of bubble wrap is because they don't want to scratch that really nice gray paint job they did to make it look like the factory. What that means is that when you're bored at lunchtime, you get to, you know, do this for a couple hours. How fun is that? Inside of the bubble wrap, it's in another bag, and that pulls off, and there you have that nice gray finish, which is really nice. Now, I like to keep my bubble wrap, and that's what I'm gonna set it in on my workbench because I'm not ready for it yet. There is also a bag for the trim. This is painted as well, and this is designed to sit inside of this. And then there's a pocket also. And in the past, you'd say, who's gonna put a double DIN in this car? Why do I need a pocket? And I would have been right there with you, but now with floating screens, a lot of them have single DIN back chassis, so the pocket has become important again. I like to open the pockets just because sometimes manufacturers do stick stuff like parts and stuff like that in the pockets. In this case, they didn't. We don't need this stuff. Move it into the proper filing cabinet. To go with that pocket, there is also a single DIN trim ring, and it is painted as well. I put the brackets in bubble wrap so that they don't scratch anything. There's a left and right bracket, and if you'll look here, you'll see those 2 screw provisions. One is towards the front here, and then one is in the back, just like the factory radio. And it does have this piece on it. This is for the pocket. The pocket gets broken off because we're not going to use it, and it's a simple to remove piece There you go. There's also these two spacers here that are gonna go into the side. If you kind of look close, you can see that little stair step there. That is for a single DIN chassis. Typically it's a little wider, and these won't be used for that. Inside this little bag here are some screws and some clips. It comes with a bunch of screws that are used to attach a radio that uses a coarse head screw, one of these guys here, to the brackets. If your radio is like a Kenwood or JVC, some Alpines, they don't use coarse head screws, they use fine thread screws, which will be in our box for the Kenwood. Don't try to screw these in because all you do is cross thread it and screws up the radio. But what you do need are these two metal clips right here, and these are gonna attach to this corner here and this corner here, and these are what gonna lock the top into place. To prep this kit, I take my flush cutters, I go over to this bar. This bar is in here for the pocket. We're not gonna need that. Cut it with the flush cutters and removes it. Next, carefully slide in your front trim. It should snap into place. There's 4 little clips for it to clip into here and here. And then these are designed to clip in. There's 4 little pegs, 2 in each corners, and then there's little teeth on the kit that you can see. And these are all designed to kind of snap into place. Go slow because you don't want to break them, and then they'll lock in and hold just like that. And then these have a little nipple that sticks out of them as well, and there's a hole on here for them to go into. Those will slide into place. The problem with these is that they rock back and forth and they don't like to stay put. If you want to put some glue or some double-sided tape or something like that on there, you can. Sometimes when I'm frustrated, I will do that. There is the basics of my kit. See, it just fell off.